KJ.
For sure, but my expert advisor Facebook tells a lot of people are telling me that it's
Welcome,
the dawning of
everybody.
the
You say you're expert of advisor on Facebook? Okay, Facebook is your expert advisor. Okay. Now, but check this out. I just logged on with Coach Ja. Man, I thank you. I'm gonna get back with you, but let me go and do this 10 times now. And the show is getting ready to start. Hey, Ja, can you hear him?
Yes.
Okay, go read the poem. He can hear you.
Am I supposed to read on a certain theme? Because I just
no. 10 times now it's our show that we do every Thursday, and the show is just saying that everything we experience going forward is 10 times more important than we believe it or we expect it to be.
Okay, cool. So this poem is going to be 10 times either better or worse than you're expecting it to be. It goes. I just finished writing it yesterday, so it goes like this. Squirrel. Yeah, I'm ADHD. It got its nut right from the tree right away, distracted me. Can't remember what attracted me. I was thinking of the economy. $600 stimulus sent to me, money for free, shouting with glee. Wait, squirrel. Is that all it's supposed to be? $1,500 for rent, $1,000 for food, utilities not included in this neighborhood. I lost my job. This makes no sense. I'm 9 months behind in my rents. 600 feels a bit short. I know the deficit's bad. I heard the report, trillions or something with so many zeros. Glad the corporations paying big taxes. That will help. Guess they're heroes. Squirrel. What was I even talking about? Hard to keep track of the thoughts that I spout. I was thinking about corona vaccine, pandemics, and such a beautiful scene. Everyone out in the streets, they all hugging. Boggling numbers of selfies, they mugging. So many beers in the bar, they be chugging. Kids back in school learning, we all back at work earning. But in the back of my mind, something churning. Squirrel. I'm nuts. Think about everything going to be fixed. My feelings should maybe be a little bit more mixed. As much as I like the taste of reality, roasted and salted, there's a chance that pharma boasted then halted. Enough manufacture, enough distribution, a happy ending might be an illusion. I can break this all down into facts and figures if I can just keep focused on discipline's rigor, but squirrel, damn, my brain is mincemeat pie. Shot by social media and a straight up scroll by, my feed rolled up with windows rolled down, FBIG Twitter bullets rain round while my head snapped back and forward without any sound, just the tick-tock ticking of hip-hop watered down. So, squirrel, I'm gathering and hiding some precious seeds, saving the good stuff I see on my feeds, rather than Richardson, good news and good deeds, comic memes that everyone reads, spiritual posts about the age of Aquarius, modern love about who might marry us, and of course recipes from my good buddy Mark. Just scrolling by and then saving until my phone screen goes dark. But also, squirrel. Damn, it happened again. Economy, virus, political trends. Too much damn information. Turn it off. Hop on my PlayStation. Drive some fast cars and shoot some dope guns. My brain stimulated by video sticky bonds. Let me try to hold on to my thinking while my attention span is constantly shrinking till I barely know if I'm breathing or blinking. So yeah. That $600 in my pocket be clinking. Those corporate fucks ain't heroes. My rats slinking. Corrupt politicians, all of them stinking. My ADHD calms them down a bit when I'm drinking. If I had LinkedIn, you know I'd be linking. I'm no dirty old man, so you know I'm not winking. My next tattoo plan, my sleeve will be inking. I'm thinking of getting a squirrel tattoo. Remind me I'm nuts. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Squirrel.
Man, that is fine. I think the dopest thing is that we don't understand that the squirrel in the poem is usually the butterfly people see. You know how you're so distracted by the butterfly, like you want, oh, a beautiful butterfly. Look at, and that's the squirrel in the poem is that every time you're going on this tangent, you say, damn, a squirrel, look. Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying, but that was dope, man. I loved it. I love the imagery. I love the truth in it. I love the truth and the dichotomy of truth.
There's truth, and then there's the flip side of the coin of truth.
That's what I'm saying, the dichotomy of truth, yeah. And that's, you know, because they're both there and they're both relevant and I guess an elevated thought in the process of realizing they're both there.
I hope it was 10 times something.
It was squirrel. Oh, no, what's that? No, but let me get with y'all, man. Stay tuned in, man. We're gonna have this conversation. No, appreciate you, man, for sure. Thank you for coming through. Thank you. And you wrote that yesterday? That's dope, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Happy holidays. Okay, please. Yeah, what's up? What's up? I've been waiting for Coach Ja. Coach Ja, man, how you doing, man? What's up, man?
Good, man? You know, life happens all the time, man, and it's just up to us to get in there where we fit in. And sometimes we rushing for something that we ain't ready for.
I know. And a lot of times we don't even know why we're rushing because we're going slow.
Or we ain't moving at all. Hell.
No, but check it out. I had all illusion. I'm back again, and him. But the question I was asking people today, I said, okay, so are we making a New Year's resolution, or are we going to create an internal revolution for 2021? Which one is it?
Wow. I know which one I'd like it to be. Now, I don't know if I got a long shot at it, but I know what I definitely know that much.
Man, so how was your day, man? How was your day? I know you had a couple of setbacks, but how was your day?
You know what? I have learned in my young 48 years of age that your day gonna do what it's gonna do, man. Listen, it ain't shit you can do about it. You can't change it. You can't make it better or worse. You know, people like, it would have been perfect if this would have happened. Well, damn it, that didn't happen. So it ain't perfect, man. But you know what? I've had a good day, man. I got to spend some time with my Omi, spend some time with my brother Witz. We had an amazing meeting. I am now, I actually am a client of a firm that actually is going to take care of a lot of the business things that I need to take care of. I'm a proud member of. I'm glad to be a client of CP Coalition, and I'm just excited about what's happened today. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, today was good. How was your day, bro?
Awesome, man. Oh man, I tell you, like this morning, I woke up and I was thinking. I said, okay, so I'll check y'all out on the Emmanuel Lewis show a whole bunch.
Mm-hmm.
I never sent a request to join. I just on there just checking out the poetry. And last night, for some reason, I said, okay, let me go and send a request. Because I saw Mr. Witz on there.
Mm-hmm.
So he asked Mr. Witz, he said, Mr. Witz, okay, what should I do? Who you want me to bring in? He said, man, Coach John's in there, man, everybody in that fire, you know. And he said, man, bring AJ. And I'm like, okay, so what am I going to read? I'm like, okay. So I got to read Home, you know, just to see, just so he could have some semblance of what it is. And he was like, man. He said, man, y'all need to write a play, man. Hit me up and do this. I said, man, I got plays in the work, but I didn't have one the way he was thinking. So I say, let me hit Job. So I sent him a message, sent him my number, and told him that, yeah, you know, who I was. And I'm like, yeah, I have a couple ideas for plays. So I have a couple ideas for plays I'm going to run by you. But,
yeah. I want to say that when we get started, I want to say this to all of those creatives that are within our feeds and on our lives and come and joining this family, man. First, I want you to know that I love you and I appreciate you and have respect for each and every one of you. But what I want you to realize is that the way you carry yourself, the manners by which you carry yourself to those outside of this poetry community reflects on all of us. And I want you to be mindful of when they call you poets and you say you're part of a family, we're all part of family, the way you carry yourself, the things you speak about and talk about. And I'm not telling you don't be real with your life. Because you're not going to be, you're not real if you're not real, right? But when I step out here and people interview me, they're interviewing small, but I'm a representation of the poetry community. And I'm saying that because a lot of us take for granted the opportunities that come before us, and you treat it like a soiled paper. You treat it like a sanitary napkin. And if that's the respect you have for what we do, then don't be a part of what we do. You know, your language and how you determine how you're going to speak about what goes on in this poetry community and how your life is, then do your own life. And then you can be on your page and you can talk about the things you want to talk about, but don't pollute this image that we are creating here. The poets are carrying a lot on Instagram and every place else. If you look at what poetry has done within this pandemic, look how we become family. We had a poet who actually won America's Got Talent, a national stage.
During the pandemic.
Yeah, during the pandemic. Don't you dare pollute what we have with your ignorance and your silly arrogance. Quincy Jones says egos are just misplaced understandings and interpretations of your direction and where you're trying to go with what you do. And I'm paraphrasing what he said, but check your ego at the door, or don't represent. You're not a representation of us if you're not doing that. Poets speak the truth and continue to speak your truth, but don't pollute what's so hard for us to build. Do you realize they still calling poets and asking them, oh, can you just do a poem for 5 minutes? Kiss my ass. No, I don't have a 5-minute pay scale. My price is this, and that's what it should be. And what I'm saying is, get your business affairs in order, okay? And if you're not sure how to do it, reach out so someone can help you so we can stop polluting this thing that we say we love. You're not part of a community being an ass. You being an ass on your own, because this community ain't about asses. I mean, there's some asses in it, but you know, we got to be bigger than that. And so, you know, I have a lot of respect for the writers and those who are being vulnerable and stepping out. I'm going to be honest with you. Just like AJ, we work hard to get to this level. My work hasn't stopped, right? And some of you are putting yourself in a position where I will never work with you outside of Instagram. I'll be afraid to put you in a place that you might destroy the roadway for other people to come along. Stop your foolishness. I'm not telling you don't be silly and cuss and do all that. I'm not saying that. But when we are all together representing what we do, and somebody from the outside of who's not a poet is giving us a platform and a stage to present who we are and what we do, represent all of us like I represent all of us. And we don't write the same, and we don't speak the same, and we don't sound the same. But God damn it, this is the same stage. And stop wiping your ass with poetry.
Man, and you know, on top of that, it's we have to know that if you're a poet, you should be ready to speak in any forum. Whether you go to an elementary school or a kindergarten or middle school or high school or a college, or go speak to people at churches or a convalescent home or a rec center or wherever you go, or college, you should have something for every place you go. Right. You know, because I know I had some friends, we go to this church and do Kwanzaa, right? So, and I brought a partner of mine with me. He said, yeah, I want to go. And he got there, he's like, oh man, I can't do that poem. Okay. Oh no, I can't do that one either. Oh, God. Can't do that one. I can try and take this out. I'm saying, don't edit your poem on the fly when we get up here in front of these people. You know, so it was just, that was my first time seeing somebody that I thought was this seasoned poet that didn't have anything to share in a place that he couldn't sit down and cuss people out or have a fuck you at the end or whatever. And I'm like, maybe that's for impact, but shouldn't your words be impact enough?
Yeah. Can't you maneuver around the cuss? Plenty of my poems got cuss words in them. I just don't say them. You know what I'm saying? But hell, I can put a curse word in every poem I write.
No, but check it out. Where words just said there is a mom and unity and city and Minty in community.
Say that one more time.
He said there's a mom and unity and city and Minty in community. In the word community, he just he said, we talk about community, we got to respect all these, the moms, the kids, the unity in it. Yes, yeah, so I got you. He said, but no ass. He said, but no ass in community. So I guess that was on your.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I've been in situations where I had to do poems in places that most people wouldn't have didn't proud to be Black poem. I've been in front of crowds of people who are non-Black, and I give them the Blackest poem I can find. And what I'm saying is, it's a manner by which you deliver. They came to see me. They came to see what they want to see. What they want to see, then go write your own shit. I'm gonna give you what I got, but I'm gonna give it to you in a way that is acceptable and it's responsible. And that's all I'm asking you to do is be responsible. Be responsible.
And the first, this lady, she was the first female district attorney of the city of Fort Worth, Texas. And she called me, and I didn't know who she was, and she said, "Yeah, I want you to come and speak at my celebration, my breakfast, you know, like an inauguration breakfast or whatever, you know." So I said, "Okay, for sure." So I started Googling her, and I found out she was a white Republican. Her position was unopposed, so she was going to be, you know, the district attorney, whether she, you know, whether she did it or not, you know. So I said, okay. So I went and I studied the process that women had to go through to be lawyers in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't understand that was like being black. Being a female attorney was like being black.
Yeah.
Because the first couple of female attorneys, they put them a chair at the desk of the secretary in the office when you came in. If there was a woman with a case, that's the case she would take. Otherwise, she wouldn't talk to nobody.
Wow.
You know, so I got up and I gave them the history of women in law. And they was looking at, because when I went there, it was in Fort Worth, a place I had no idea. I passed by that place every day. I went up to the 5th floor. A guy met me at my car, telling me I was probably on the wrong floor. So I knew I was on the right floor then, because, you know, he met me telling me I was on the wrong floor. I'm suited down now, so I said I must be on the right floor, because you met me in my car telling me I might be on the wrong floor. So I go in there, I sit down, and all these people, you know, and there was a couple of pastors' wives in there that I knew, prominent pastors, you know, pastors with 5,000 member churches in there that I knew. And one of the pastors' wives, she was over the church then, because he went to jail for some other stuff. He had an apartment with some women and all the other stuff that some of them do. But she was over the church, and I'd been knowing her for a minute. So she came over and talked to me, and everybody was looking like, who is this guy with these long locks? So when they said to the speaker, I got up and I told them about, you know, women in law. And I rocked some poems that was blacker than black could be. And all these people took out their phones and they was videotaping. I don't know if they was sending it to Klan members or who they was sending it to, but I was happy they was recording. But I was like, the thing is you can present your work if it's a formidable piece. If the piece is written well, nobody can say anything about the piece, because if the piece is full of truth and the piece is written well, there's nothing anybody can say about the piece that you've written. What up, Codename Spades? Yeah, I need to talk to you, man. But John, I was working on a piece called Mirror, Mirror, Mirror today, man.
Oh, man.
And I was thinking about you, because the concept of the piece is like, okay, if America was a person and looked in the mirror, what would she see?
Ooh, would she even see a person? that's the bigger damn question. Woo!
But that was the whole thing. It says.
Did you finish?
It's close.
You want to give me what? You want to give me what you got, or you want to hold on to it?
Now let me see. Okay, it's on the same laptop. So tell me if you can still see me. I'm gonna try and pull it up.
Okay.
Can you still see me?
Yeah, I can still see you.
Okay. Let me see. You can still see me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here it is. It's Mirror, Mirror, Mirror. It says, I cannot blame America for fear of reflection, for wanting to change the word slave in its ledgers, historical documents to immigrants, for claiming dates of discovery, inventions, for listing nations and countries conquered when no one knew a war ensued. I cannot blame America for being afraid of the possibility. Every mirror it looks in will rebel, fold in on itself. America's history should be read as a serial country, or rather a nation of government-sanctioned serial killers. Neither Pythagoras nor Einstein could enumerate or create a mathematical equation to factor in an equitable fashion the number of countries America raided. Languages bastardized, ideas stolen, number of leaders assassinated because they could not agree, number of treaties rendered forfeit, number of indigenous nations turned ghost. How many fingers were splintered, cut, scraped, broken, knuckles laid bare from tying nooses? How many forgotten hangings took place in northern and southern states no one was aware of? I cannot fault America for giving itself Alzheimer's. Did not read or even care about the side effects. For the last 4 centuries, America has been seeing a psychiatrist daily. It could not listen to its own memories without crying uncontrollably without regurgitating the spirits and souls of the many children harmed through neglect and experiments. Historians keep writing different endings, alternate beginnings, forcing storytellers to change their once upon a times, redefining the horrific terms used to create this supposedly great nation. This country should be mirrorless, should not be able to look itself in the eyes, should lose its voice each time it tries to use America and great in the same sentence. America should be rendered blind, have her eyes forcibly removed, placed side by side with justice, voting rights that ain't right, affirmative action, equality. Find that bitch freedom, string her up and give her 50 lashes a day until she recants, until she begs for forgiveness. This country should be mirrorless, should be forced to stand face to face with its victims, should be made to feel and experience every emotion, every ounce of pain it has inflicted on whomever it treated unjustly. The stripes on its flag should be stripped. Stars changed to sickles. The color should be dark, dark like night raids. Bright flashes like nuclear weapons, nuclear explosions in Hiroshima, missiles used in the Iraq War, like bombs ignited by police killing men, women, and children in Philadelphia housing complex. If America had hands, blood would be hardened, dried, trapped deep in its fingernails, thicker than mud. Every one of their hands should be cut off for thievery, burglary, land lifting, country taking, murder. Oh, that's it. That's all I got so far.
Yeah, AJ. Yeah. Wait a minute, where you pitch at, man? You disappear.
I see it. I'm trying to get it back. Okay.
I was writing. You know, I just came back. I was writing on the plane, man. I started 5 poems on the plane. I finished one, but the one I'm working, I'm gonna read that one because I want to read that one. I'm glad that you read that because, yeah. I would tell you one thing that I really appreciate. I love poets to express how they feel, but I love when poets tell their truth. And I don't care what truth it is, but I love when you tell the truth because if we circle, it's just like it's like a recycling bin. They go in and then the next poet pick it up and they just run right with it. It's the same thing. It's just recycling because eventually somebody's gonna listen, right? We're gonna stop hearing shit and we're gonna listen because we hear shit all the time. We ain't listen to a damn thing.
Yeah.
And that's what the problem is.
But I think this shutdown forced us to internalize our differences amongst ourselves. I'm saying within myself, not just the differences with everybody else. It's like, oh, I don't like this quiet. I didn't know I didn't like quiet because I got so much of it. Or I don't like this. I don't like that. It's just that we discovered so much of us during this pandemic, during this shutdown, that now we realize there's parts of us we need to change, we need to work on. So in the process of creating all these communities of poets, we learned that there's other poets doper than we thought other poets were. There's other poets with some fire that every time they spit, you duck.
Yeah. You duck quick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you duck. Yeah. So that's why it's time for a revolution of thought, not a revolution of everything, because revolution is instant change. Even if it's instant change within ourselves. So if we have a revolution of thought, that means that I now have to treat you with the respect that I think I deserve.
Yeah.
So when I start treating you with that respect, then we don't have any differences anymore. It's because when you know, because just think, every serial killer loved their mama. You know, got some sisters that they like, some brothers that they like. You know, they didn't kill everybody.
They didn't kill everybody.
You know, like when they asked Richard Pryor, they say, why you kill everybody? You know, he say, well, they were there. And that's the joke part. But the real part is that we got to understand that we are just like everybody else. So when we understand that we are no different, then we can't treat anybody different than we want ourselves to be treated.
Yeah. I think one of the differences that is a major difference with us is we don't mind people giving us their ass. But we find a way to kiss it and rub our face in and everything else and just keep on walking like ain't shit happened. But you can't do that to everybody else.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that we need to break as a community, because we continuously allow everybody else to do whatever the hell they want, and we just roll with it, and we go march without nothing on the other side of it. We protest without nothing on the other side of it. So, and I always tell people all the time, here's what they think about your marching and your protesting. They don't even arm the police officers that's right there in front of you. It's the ones behind them that got the armor. They're the ones that got the guns and weapons. The one in front of you got a nightstick and some tear gas and a shield. And that's it. They ain't armed with nothing. But it goes to show you that they're not intimidated with your marching and protesting. The intimidation part is what you do after that. They can just get some extra. Okay, we're gonna got some overtime. You know, these niggas out here in the street again. We just get some overtime going. And then after it's all over, shit, they go back to their regular routine. Go lock their ass up again.
But you know what I discovered? I knew this before. I knew it, but there was no empirical evidence. What I mean is when there's a shop in New York, or a bar, a cafe, or whatever you call it, that let more people in than was supposed to, so the owner got arrested. So they were picketing outside, but they were picketing with these big giant flags, and I'm wondering, we should go in the flag business, man. The way they're selling flags to 74 million people, we could go in the flag business. We could be rich right now in the flag business. But they had all these people with flags and all these people marching and no mask and in front of this business. And I didn't see no police nowhere. I saw a couple of people sitting on bicycles. But I'm like, when there's us anywhere doing whatever, I don't know why the camera keep acting like this.
I don't know.
When there's us anywhere doing whatever, police just show up like they're not even called. It's like they just grow out of the ground. It's like, whoop. They grow out of the ground wherever we are because that's where they need to be. And it's like, I don't understand how it's not evident that there's systemic racism in America when the police will be around us and tear gas us and have their shields and weapons drawn time they show up. And just like when in Sturgis, when all those bikers was shot each other and was killing each other, police was there and they didn't shoot nobody. They didn't billy club nobody. They didn't beat nobody. I don't even think they yelled at people. They didn't even use their loud voices. They use all their inside voices outside and shit. That's, you know, when you got a whole bunch of police out there using their inside voice outside, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's man. But it goes to show, it teaches so much about what we've already known, and we just keep acting like we're not supposed to fight this shit every day. They know we got a time span with everything. First, we ain't gonna get up early, and we ain't gonna stay too late unless we partying, and we ain't gonna do shit for so long. And that's been our problem. That's been our problem. Think about what is the Greensboro? Is Greensboro 6? They sat down at that restaurant. Yeah. I think it was 6 of them. It was either 4 or 6, and they said, "Well, damn it, we gonna go to jail today. We gonna do it," and they did it, and it made a difference. Think about the little young girl, I can't remember her name, that went to the school the first time segregation happened.
In Arkansas,
baby, walking into a school. Now her mother was there where they had police escorting her, but she did something, and it lasted. The problem with us is we expect somebody else to do it.
Man, you know, I finished my dressing for church.
Did you?
Finally. But the thing is I had all my research, and that's what it was. The problem was I didn't know how to tell the story you just told, because a lot of people don't understand that the first piece of land blacks could own in America was the black church.
The black church.
And when this black church was formed, there were people arguing over who was actually the founder. And then not just that, one of the pastors at the first black church was the African. A lot of people say First Colored Baptist Church, but it's called the African Baptist Church. So the names are different in history too. I guess it's the Cardinal who wrote it. Yeah. But one of the pastors, he helped found Savannah State. Oh, he helped with Morehouse.
Wow.
Then when the church split, it formed Dexter Avenue Baptist Church and Emmanuel Baptist Church, and Dexter is where Martin Luther King was.
Wow.
And then not just Martin, but Warnock that's running for Senate.
Yeah.
He's the present pastor of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church.
Wow.
So it just shows the elevation of them understanding that black church was where the community was first formed, where black man could to be a man the first time.
Yeah.
So for them to keep perpetuating the growth of community and the growth of neighborhoods and the growth of a nation out of that church, it shows that a whole lot of churches are failing in their ability to do what church is supposed to be. Because I had a conversation with my mother, you know, she was talking about, yeah, because we, you know, my mother, she retired from playing piano for the church. We sang in the choir. We did, you know, everything.
Okay.
She was over the choir. But the church was down the street. And I remember the little sign on, you know, I think they just passed that building fund sign around to these churches. I don't even think they make no more of that. You know, when one church get the money, they erase that line and send it to the next church. But I remember the way the line was going up. And I remember when it was almost time, I'm looking, it's like the thermometer was gonna burst. Then we had a new church on the other side of town.
On the other side of town.
And I kept trying to figure, I'm like, oh, so we put the money in the church right here, not for the church to be right here. I don't think these other people in the community understood that they were building a church that was going to move on them. Like all these big cathedral churches that moved to these areas because they found a good rate, they found good tax breaks, they found all this other stuff, but they abandoned the communities they were supposed to be in. And we don't understand that this is why our communities look like they do right now. And we don't want to attribute to all these things, because when the church was there was a barbershop, there was a laundromat, there was a corner store. The community's money recirculated. So when the church left, the businesses left, the people left. So all they left was people there that was donating to this building fund that's still trying to figure out where the building went.
They didn't realize they was building a fund for someplace else.
Exactly. You know, but it's amazing that it just didn't happen one time. That happens in every community consistently.
But
they don't. If they told the people, just like Tuskegee, you know, if they say it's a 6-month experiment, lasts 40 years. You know, if they say, okay, we want you to do this Sunday, we want every family to give $100 to build a fund. And you say, we ain't got $100 on groceries, but we want $100 to build funds. So we believe, so we're gonna give $100 because I saw on the church TV the other day, church TV, the guy say, you give your $100 donation, you get $1,000 in the mail. So I'm gonna give my $100. So they're giving their money, but if they say, give your $100 today, but we ain't gonna build a church right here, how much money do you think they get?
AJ, let's take it a step further. Let's go back just a step, right? What people don't even understand is, let's think about this question right here. Why was there even a need for the African church? AME Zion, First Baptist, Second Baptist across the road to Jericho. What was the need for these churches? Why were these churches even in existence?
In the couple of first lines of my poem, it says, we were told how good and how great the white is.
Whew.
So we would spend all these years trying to mimic their movement. So I guess we'll pick Sunday too. Like they did. Call it early morning, call it Sunday morning worship, call it sunrise service, call it whatever they used to call it, because we want to call it what they used to call it. But that's the question. The question is, why did what's his name? I'm trying to think. That he broke away from the church as soon as the church moved to the United States. So there's all these, you have AME, you have Church of God in Christ. So I would ask anybody, I'm not saying anything about religion. I just want you to go and see if your particular version of a religion have another book that tells you what part of the book the religion comes from that you're going to believe.
Yeah. And before you do that, go back and ask your pastors, your church, or business first, because I think they forget that. They forget that. And the pastor tell you, oh no, this is the business first, my brother. Praise the Lord. And
where your 10%?
And where I never got, well, I know why religions do religions do it, but I never understood how that makes it. How's that acceptable for me if you come as you are? Well, I'm coming. I ain't got shit. I ain't got 10%, and I ain't bring you no pay stubs. I ain't got no job yet. So am I not eligible for membership? You know, so things like that had always moved me in a way. I'm like, man, nah, you can keep it.
I ain't gonna call no names, but there's a church in Dallas, big, huge cathedral church that's got ATMs in the lobby, but you are required to turn it in your tax information to the church, so they can actually ensure you're paying your 10%. And then you don't pay your 10%. It's like you're in debt to the church, because we've seen you, Brother Smalls. You're behind. The last 3 months, you put your 10% in. So we need you to come on through and give us that money that you owe us.
I'm just built from a different cloth. I just look here.
And I hate to say this, but that's the truth. Yeah. A lot of people think that we're just making up stuff on, and we hadn't planned on talking about churches or religion or anything, but that's the stand up truth. I would say sit down truth, but we need to stand up and say some shit sometimes.
Oh, we need to jump. Damn standing. We need to be jumping like jumping jacks. We need to be up and down. I don't listen. If you're on here, we're not trying to offend you in any way. We just want to have those conversations that we don't have. If you belong to a church, you know what we're saying to be truthful.
Yeah.
So let's say that. We just decided to do what Pastor not gonna do, and we'll talk about it. I'm not going to, and I don't know about other religions that do that. I know in Islam they it's not a 10% tithing thing. I know with the Nation of Islam there is, they pay for security, things like that. But it's not you have to give this amount. That's not what it is. I don't know of you have to give this amount to be here. I don't know of that. In fact, it's a whole different process to be a member of the Nation of Islam, and it's really something that you can do whether you got 2 cents or negative $50,000 in your pocket. It don't cost you a thing, and which is another misconception that a lot of people don't know. But I just don't I don't get it. I think now in the I guess what you call the Orthodox Islamic places overseas and stuff like that, they just ask you to give your donation once a year. So one time for the year you give whatever donation you're going to do. But I still don't know that has a percentile on it. I've never seen the percentage thing on it.
Brother Ellison in here, Brother Ellison reads 68. He say, the church needs a new roof.
Ooh. But
if the building had insurance, that's like a house, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That insurance was paid. They can get a new roof. If they fix a doorknob, they can get some equity in there and refinance. Come on now. Come on, all my real estate people. It is a business, ain't it? Let's get some refinancing going on.
Let's say you in good hands with
you might be in good hands with Allstate, but with the so-and-so.
No, but on a serious tip, it's just that we really have to redefine. See, dressing for church was my idea of saying that the Black church began with a function. Because see, when they used to go to the white church during slave times, they would go outside of the church and they would circle dance like they did in before they got here. And they circle dance and they sing the songs that they learned in church, but they gave them different meanings. So while Master and them would think that they singing, that they got the spirit in them from the church, they were calling the ancestors in the language that they were taught. So there's a difference in, I guess, the abundance of truth in what we know than what we heard.
Have you seen this movie called A Lesson Learned Before Dying?
It's a lesson before dying, right?
Is that what it is? With Macaulay?
Yeah, A Lesson Before Dying, yeah.
And I forgot the brother name that played the pastor, and he was talking. He said, "Man, don't you know I lie all the time? I lie to them, tell them that it's going to be a great day. I know it's a lie, but they need this for their healing so they can get over." That hit me in a way that never before. And I'm not saying pastors be lying. Not saying that. But if you keep telling me about this good, glorious day that we never heard nobody say, "Oh, it's coming, you're going to see it." we don't know about. How do I believe that without using my heart to tell my mind something that my mind can't conceive?
Yeah, and I imagine what you're saying during the time I was talking about. So it's gonna be a good day, but they got to get up for sun up and go pick cotton.
Go pick cotton. Oh, it's gonna be a good day for somebody. That's for
Yeah.
damn sure. One of my poems said, these grounds are too used to prick fingers and cotton. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they know.
Yeah.
It was blood that grew, that made the best crops grow. They had to water that cotton. It was blood filled the whole time.
Now, but there's a series on Netflix about Brazil, right? And it's talking about how, so just looking at it, I understood why Brazil is so rich with culture. Because see, America is the only place where when they brought slaves, they separated them so they couldn't speak to each other.
They couldn't speak to each
other. So when they would take it elsewhere, yes, I agree, feel like the church leaders just want to rule as the government rules. Churches aren't passionate about preaching God's word, but enforcing their own word, beliefs, and opinions. Well, see, I understand that could be relatable to some churches.
Right. That's not every church.
But see, I refuse to put everybody into a bucket and shake them up and act like whoever comes out is what I just said.
Right.
But what I was saying is the Brazil thing, you found out that the trees that was there when they first came and they discovered all this land, and it was called Brazil wood. That's where it got its name from.
Wow.
The tree, when they took the tree back, that's what they made a bunch of buildings out in Portugal. They started making buildings out of Brazil wood. So they started going back and they sent people and they would send slaves. So that was one of the places where the slaves had a single digit lifespan.
Wow.
In Cuba, Brazil, and some of the other places. Just like in the Black Book of Black, I talk about how America would kidnap, would attack ships and take the slaves off of those ships and deliver those ships to Brazil and Cuba and all these places to where America had vested interest in cotton and cane and tobacco and all these things. So we don't understand how horrible America's history really is until we actually start looking at America's history.
Absolutely. You know, another thing too, AJ, that people don't know, I think for every one slave they were sending here, Brazil was taking like 12 and shit. You know what I mean? Like they was a damn 11 times as much that they was taking over there. So when people talk about how beautiful Brazil, do you know Brazil has the biggest African history outside of Africa in the entire world because of the slave trade?
No, but see, when they brought the slaves there, they weren't separated.
No.
They went there with their rich culture, their food, their stories, the griots. They went there and kept their stories intact. See, America. See, I agree with you, Chizo, for sure, man. I'm just saying the truth that nobody talks about.
That nobody talk about.
Yeah. So, but when they took the slaves there, the slaves weren't separated. So everything was intact. So even the next batch of slaves came with stories that graduated the stories of the people that was already there, because a lot of times it came from the same area. They had the same black man working with a white man that was fooling people to come to this place, and they was capturing people as if, so that's how they was making money.
Yeah, a whole lot of it too.
They was right. It was us selling us, but it was us selling us convinced by somebody else to help them.
I don't entertain that conversation, us selling us shit. I don't entertain that shit. I don't. And the reason I don't entertain it because yes, there's some truth in it, but we don't have the complete truth in that.
Oh yeah.
We wasn't.
They picked the one place. They picked the one place they know of, and I'm saying because you can't make 35,000 chartered round trips from Africa to all these countries and just claim that this one black man is helping.
Right.
He filled 35,000 ships. He not the king of the world now?
Yeah, you're right. And then again, how was that possible? How was that possible in his mind also? And so there's a lot to it, but I'm not entertaining that shit. That's my thing.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason being
I just threw it out there as a fraction of the truth. See, we don't understand that they will give us the smallest fraction of us participating in something and want that to be 100% of the truth.
100% of the truth.
when what they're saying is only 1% of what happened, and they're 99% of the problem.
Well, 99.999. I mean, you got to give them some bitch a little more than that. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Lars said, I still cry what happened while some people shrug their shoulders. And see, it's hard for me to get over it because until we treat America like home, until we actually begin to participate in this process and know that we can change everything that we think we can't change, or everything we keep asking them to change, is really up to us to either dig us out or dig us deeper. Either way, it's going to take us.
Yeah. And we got to stop taking whatever fraction of that shit that some people have played in it. When we speak about it, we magnify the shit. It's like it overrides all the other shit that they did. It overrides the fact that them the motherfuckers who showed them how to do it. Said, look here, man, I can do this. Just bring them. You know what I'm saying? And we got to stop. It's almost like we take, well, shit, we did it too. Fuck it, I ain't gonna say nothing about it.
Yeah,
That's to
shut us up. That's to shut us up. It's like, okay, you're gonna talk about how America is killing people. What about us killing people? I'm like, well, I think, like if back in the day, you say, okay, that's one, you got one, okay, that's one against us. So we got one, but America got this tally over here that you can't even count.
No.
So ain't no way we're gonna catch up. And that's what this, I'm saying that poem, it was saying like, America, you owe me, like the other part I wrote, the fire, it say let it burn.
Mm-hmm.
It say, America, you owe me everything you got, gon' get dreamed of having. Your daughters. So it's like, if you don't understand that, that's the truth right there.
AJ, look, let's take it a step further, right? Let's think about this, bro. So, brother Mike, what up? Think about it like this here. They glorify black men, they ain't shit. They run out on their kids. They damn deadbeats. Who we learning from? Who's the first deadbeat fathers? Your goddamn last name ain't Washington.
Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln. Your name ain't no damn Lincoln. You didn't come from no damn Lincolns. You might have some Lincoln blood ingested in you, but you ain't no damn Lincoln. William's son. Jack.
They just found out 15, 20 years ago that Lincoln was his great grandpappy. He was like, oh, we didn't. Nobody told us.
Nobody told us that. Nobody shared that information.
Because Lincoln and George Washington, 10 of the first 12 presidents in America owned slaves. Okay, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln owned the most slaves of any president ever in existence. George Washington owned more than Abraham Lincoln, and Abraham Lincoln owned more than 600 slaves. So imagine the man that said he wanted all the slaves to be free only wanted all your slaves to be free. So we don't read in context what it says, but he wanted to free the slaves of the rebellious South. I want my slaves to continue to do what I told them to do.
Right, but I'm gonna let yours.
Let yours free. Say Thomas Jefferson, Thomas Jefferson. Yeah. But I'm saying the whole thing is we don't understand the full breadth of the history we were not taught.
Yeah.
Because they're scathed over history, the wooden teeth, and I will not tell a lie, and the things they want us to know, and chop down the cherry tree and all these things, and those are the most. I remember he said, I chopped down the cherry tree because I would not tell a lie. I was like, okay, so that's cool, but what about his slaves?
Well, I don't eat cherries. I don't like them. So come on a damn cherry tree.
Really? But whose cherry tree was it?
What is her name?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, it's things that we see. I want everybody, wherever you live, to go and see if your attorney general was one of the ones that signed on to the deal Texas was trying to do to disenfranchise 20 million minority votes. See if your attorney general signed on that, because if he did, that means that he was kind of satisfied that all his colored people are in their place. They would never band together. They would never be able to vote him out. They would never be able to vote other people in to support their agenda. So he said, he is your agenda. So until we actually understand that it's up to us to change our own community. Once we change our community, we can change the communities around us. Then we can change the city. Then we can change the state. Then we can change the nation. But if we just trying to change the nation, you know, your grass need cutting.
You know, another thing that bothers me about our people that we say we need to change the system.
And no, Ellison said the Moors flag had a cherry on it. I heard.
Now let's talk about that. You can go to places like Italy. Today, I'm talking about Italy, and you can see taverns named the Moor, and see black faces still on it. People don't know that before there was an Italian mafia, there was a black mafia, right?
Yeah.
We had that. Everything that they've done and mimicked and allowed to escalate, we've done it already. And we just silly enough to believe, oh, they did it better. No, they didn't do it better. They just put it in your damn face and eliminated the history so you couldn't read it.
And you know, I've always had a problem with us regurgitating names of people we don't even know the origin or the source of where it came from. So you want to be this person, or you want to be rejuvenated. Let's say you go back to Machine Gun Kelly. Okay, I'm being Machine Gun Kelly again. Machine Gun Kelly was a gangster, you know, but you know, I want to be Al Capone again. Al Capone died of syphilis in prison. You know, but you know, so all these things that we want to be and we think it's cool because we don't know that people know the full story of that particular person. So how come you can't just be yourself?
Yeah.
Make your own story. Make your own, bring national attention to you, to your family. Because I really think that we're sitting here talking about how we need to build stuff. I think every rapper that's made all this money need to go back. That house they used to live in, that car they used to sell, you know, start underground out of. That car need to be parked in the driveway of that house. It need to be a monument for that city.
Yeah.
They need to build the studio the way it was in the basement so people in that community can go and view that house as a museum and say, this is what it took for somebody to make it out of here. And they brought back and they're showing us the roadmap. See, if you don't go back and rebuild and build anything or show them where we came from, they always think that there's no way out.
Yeah. We going back to take the money and run.
Because you can go to George Washington's house and see the way it was, or Abraham Lincoln's house, or what any of the writers.
Yeah.
Thoreau's house. You can go to Henry David Thoreau's house and see this is where this is the typewriter he wrote on. This is the quill he held or whatever. But we can't go to KRS-One house and see where he started, or go to where Tupac started, or go to these houses. See. Yeah, Bonnie and Clyde hung out in the black community in East Texas. Yeah, I'm from Dallas. Yeah.
Look at all them white people who had money hung out with black people. Where do you think they get rhythm and blues from? The hell wrong with you? All of them did. Name them. Elvis Presley stole everything he got from black people, and they raised his funky ass up. I'm getting no damn Elvis Presley. He stole every damn thing. I mean, we got to call a spade, right? He stole all this shit.
Yeah.
You know? Big Mama Thornton and all them stole all that shit. He up there singing. They gotta win this. Now, come on, man, get out of here.
No, but the most amazing thing is that right now we have all this truth in front of us.
Yeah.
And a couple of weeks ago we was telling everybody Happy Thanksgiving. Like we had forgot every day before Thanksgiving. We know the day wasn't happy. No, we know didn't no pilgrims and indigenous people of this land sit down and have no big old turkey and some greens and dressing on no table while they was killing people.
Yeah.
So when are we going to actually hold on to the truth longer than the day they want us to celebrate it being a lie?
AJ, let me say something to you, man. I don't want to cut you off, but let me say this. Right. Here's another damn thing that here we are. It's Christmas Eve. Ain't today Christmas Eve? I think it's today. Or tomorrow. Okay, it's today. Tomorrow, Christmas. I ain't seen, out of all the posts we talk about, ain't nobody said shit about Kwanzaa coming up. Ain't nobody preparing nothing for Martin Luther King birthday coming up. Ain't shit going on for Black History Month. We should have a marathon of shit going on right now because I was still halfway locked in our damn houses. And
John, I ain't told nobody, but New Year's Eve, from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m., I'm doing a live.
Well, listen, I got all kind of I can't stand your ass poems in there. I got all kind of blacker than you thought I was gonna be poems in here. Cause I don't want to hear shit. Anything else, I'm bleeping your ass off the screen.
Now, but I'm doing a live from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. to bring in the new year, because first I want people to understand that I really don't want you to go and hang out with your family. I don't want you to go and hang out with people that you hadn't been around, because COVID is still here. They just saying that as a new strain in South Africa, new strain in the UK. It's probably here too, but ain't nobody discovered it yet. So my thing is, I had COVID, so I don't know what the new strain is. I don't want the old strain. Right. I don't want you to have the old strain. So I want you to take your time and understand that we need to take care of ourselves. We need to mask up. We need to wash our hands. You need to make sure you social distance. We need to do all these things that are necessary for us to stay safe, because I want you in 2021, because we got shit to do.
We got a whole lot of shit to do.
Yeah, and I want to do a live on New Year's Eve, because I want to say, look, we have to get prepared for the. We don't know what next year. We thought we knew what 2020 was going to be.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Because 21. Listen, this time last year, we was shit. 2020 my year. Oh yeah, it's going down. And shit. February we would start. Eyes was open in March. Everybody thought they was dead. Everybody was scared to breathe. We sitting here in the house, like in our own house, taking a shower with clothes on and shit.
But that I want everybody to ask themselves: are you making a resolution for 2021, or have you realized it's time for an internal revolution for 2021?
Yeah.
Because we need to understand that we got to change some stuff within ourselves so we can deal with the people around us, because we didn't know we was this screwed up till we had to isolate and be by ourselves. You know, I can imagine people standing there, I can't stand you, and they looking in the mirror. I can't stand you. I don't know why you here. Why won't you leave? And they looking in the mirror.
In the damn mirror. And the hell, they saying it with their eyes closed. Damn, you smell like that same nigga I just smelled 5 minutes ago. Yeah, still the same funky ass right there.
Man, I gotta take my girl. So I gotta run an errand with my girl, man, for sure. Because I told her I was gonna do it, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna be on it 4, and we're gonna do this. So, I completely understand. But I appreciate everybody coming through, man. And I'm not leaving directly right now, but I want to have us a little more of this conversation, because I want you to tell people the things you have going on and what you're trying to do with your YouTube. Because I'm building my YouTube, but I don't have no followers on my YouTube. My new page.
Well, we're gonna get there. We're working on it.
We need to get yours, because I see you posting. I say, yeah, I need to do the same thing. So what's your YouTube?
So my YouTube page is Coach Josh Smalls on YouTube. I'm Coach Josh Smalls anywhere. I'm very Google friendly, but Coach Josh Smalls. I'm trying to build up the numbers. I have some major plans that I'm going to unleash once the new year comes in. And so I'm trying to get 1,000 subscriptions by then, so that I don't have the issues with going into other networks and being able to put my stuff on those networks without having the issue of saying, oh well, you got to have this. Across the board, there's been 1,000 followers you need to have. So I'm trying to reach that. So if y'all can help me reach that, then that'll be great. And so we can have these conversations with more people. We have other folks that we want to, introduce to what we're trying to do here. 10 Times Now is going to be, it is already an amazing platform, because we get to talk about things, and we get to talk about it in a way that people don't have to feel offended, right?
And we're going to convert it to a podcast too. So it's going to be everywhere, on everything, on every medium. Absolutely.
I gotta, I'm getting ready to get, I'm gonna invest in. I already have my interface, so I can go into my interface from the computer. I can go straight into that and not have to worry about the having the feedback. Yeah, I'm going to get one of those next. That's what I'm looking at next. Yeah. And so, but that's it. We want to grow it to that level so we can move into some other places and make it a podcast that people are like, okay, yeah. Because we want to bring the folks on that y'all want to talk to, the people y'all need to ask the questions to. That's what we want. We want their asses on here.
Really, because a lot of people say, okay, how many followers you got? How many people gonna be on the show? And a lot of times people will only come when they think when it's gonna benefit them, and they don't understand that they're coming on will benefit a lot of people. So a lot of people aren't worried about who is gaining a benefit from the conversation.
Right.
It's how is it going to benefit me?
Yeah.
But right now, I think we need. I just reached 3,000 on my Instagram, man.
Oh, and that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm so appreciative. I thank everybody for coming through, for following. Now I got to get 1,000 on my, at least on my YouTube.
Yeah, man. We gotta get that 1,000 on YouTube. What's your YouTube page so people can know?
But I just built one, so I got 3. I'm finna see my restream worked the other day on my YouTube and Facebook. It just didn't work on my Instagram. So I'm trying to see which connection works better. So that's the YouTube that I'm gonna use to do it.
Right.
Plus, man, I'm gonna tell you, I want us to do some commercials. I don't want to do commercials like everybody else, because my first commercial is how to write a poem. And I want people to know that you don't really start writing when you sit down, pen and paper. You start writing when you're in your car. You start writing when you get out of bed, when you're in the shower, right before you pick up the stuff. You say, oh man, where can I write this line? And you ain't got no, that's why you start writing a poem in the most inopportune places, the most awkward places you can be. So the concept is, I want to make a commercial to where we realize that we are artists all the time.
All the time. All the time.
Not just when you're writing, not just when you pick up something and say, hey, I think our artists today, man. I think our artists today. No, we artists every day. We artists every minute of every day.
AJ, I want to tell you, let me say, I wrote a poem on the plane after reading, let me see which one of the poems, because I marked the pages off. I read All I Know out of this book.
Okay.
I read All I Know.
I've been bottling up my thoughts like paper.
Bro, and let me see. I'm going to tell you what's the other one that I read. I did read The Corner of San Francisco. I read that one. And let me see what's the other one that I read that had me. Oh, I love A Song for Lena. I think I heard you read that one too.
A Song for Lena. Man, Lena Horne was always moving. And see, a lot of people don't know what Lena did for the movement. Lena and Harry Belafonte almost funded the movement themselves.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what people don't know too? Frank Sinatra made the way for a lot of black entertainers to be in Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Frank Sinatra. Oh, The Signs. That's the one.
Oh yeah.
That's the one I wrote right after The Signs, because on the third page we sort of, so everywhere I stopped there was a name would appear, tagged on the grass, dirt, carpet, and concrete, bright colors of Cupid's hearts and arrows with I love you. I started writing a poem right after I read that, bro. I started writing the poem I read yesterday to my son.
Mm-hmm.
That was the poem that I did today.
Oh man, that poem was, man, that poem is.
My son, my youngest son, and he may be on here. I want to have a conversation. I don't want to tell him what, but he did some stuff. And I know what his goal is, because he's a rapper and he's trying to do some things. But I'm trying to find a way to reach him that doesn't stop him from pushing his work, but I have to find a way for him to get redirection. Because in the poem I said, my son, that image is not what you need. That image is not you, and it's not. It doesn't even fit him. But I understand, because I was there before. But I lived the shit that I was talking about. I don't know how much that he lived. I'm not gonna say he don't live it.
Yeah.
But you can smell it on me when I walk around. You smell that bad shit on me, and I don't know that and I hope he doesn't have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I want him to see that I was there, and look where I'm at now. And if he starts now, shit, he's 40 years ahead of me.
Oh man, my son, one of my sons, man, he's so sharp, man. When he was in high school, he created 27 new villains, 37 new villains and 27 new superheroes.
Wow.
So I made him sit down and write the origin of each one, the villain and the hero. And then when Stan Lee died, last year? Mm-hmm. I told him, I say, Alex, man, I say, somebody move so now you can move in.
You can move in. Yeah.
And I told him what I meant. And a lot of times we aren't ready when the time comes, because I always say you got to be ready before you can get ready. When ready comes, you need to already be moving.
Yeah.
So at least he's prepared. Now, all these new characters and superheroes, none of them equate to the ones that he have. And I'm telling him, he's so far ahead of everybody else. and don't know it. But you have, just like the poets, you know, you say, just come on in and read. And when they finally read, you're gonna say, wow, blew me away, because they didn't know the power or the impact of the sound they would have, because we're all afraid of our shadow because we don't know what shadows do. Shadows are just following us.
Yeah, yeah. Man, my son, there's a show that comes on Netflix for new rappers to come in, and New York City is Cardi B and some other people that's supposed to.
Yeah, I watched that.
My son was on there.
Okay.
He was invited to come there. He was so happy. He posted the email that he got that they invited him on there because of his work. And I'm telling him, I'm like, son, that is your in already. Now I want you to hone into what you do. And I said, you know, I don't want to tell you I got your way and I can tell you how to write. No, I'm not going to tell you that. I can help you if you want to, but I don't want you, you know, I want you to want that.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, look here, your grandmother had it. Your father had it. We still have it. You're just the next generation of it. Now learn what we learned so that you can move forward. And that's what I want to give them, because it's there, brother. You don't listen. Some people are they become poets because they were born poets and just didn't know it.
Yeah.
But you don't just become a poet overnight.
No, and it ain't. Pens aren't poet friendly. And I don't know if people know it, but the pens aren't poet friendly. Pens don't like you.
They can. Yeah. Not when I write this kind of shit.
Man, but check it out, man. Let me go on and hook up with my girl, man, because she waiting on me. Man, yeah. I love you, my brother. I think we need to go live for an hour or so tomorrow just to finish this conversation.
We might be able to hit me up and let's see what time we can work out, and we might be able to do that tomorrow. That might be a good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Love you, man. Appreciate it. Everybody's coming through. Thank y'all so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. All Illusion. I'm saying everybody that came through with a poem or so, man. I love you, my brother. Let me get out here and make sure my baby know I love her too. So
happy wife mean happy life. Get on out of here and I'll see you later.
Okay, peace.
I love you, bro.
Love you too.
Listen, that was my brother AJ, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like I said, we do this every Thursday, 7 p.m. I was a little late today. I had some things I had to do. I take care of my Umi. Umi means mother. I was taking care of my mother, and she's always going to be high up there on my priority list, and I had to take care of some things with her. Very proud to say that that's what I was doing, and I got here a little bit late. But I thank y'all for tuning in, and I'm hoping that you learned something from this. I'm hoping you come back next week, share in the DMs things that you want to talk about, things that you wish to share, things we hadn't talked about, things you might want to bring up, topics for next time. Please, we welcome all of that. Please bring it in, come share it with us, and let's just make it great. I appreciate y'all. Totally appreciate all the love that y'all have always given. Please, whatever you do, please share the page. Join and subscribe to Coach Ja on YouTube. AJ said he's just starting his yet, so he said he's gonna put it out when he's ready. But subscribe to him, follow him on IG, follow me on IG. You can follow me, Coach Ja Smalls, anywhere. And let's just make the great things happen now. I believe we have everything we need to be great. I always tell you that. And as I tell you, I'm challenging you to be better. I'm challenging myself the same way. It's just a reminder of who you are and how much greater you can be if you push yourself to that. You can will in the things that you want. And by you do that by just doing the work and focusing on what your goal is going to be. So like I said, man, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Never mind the background. I'm doing some fixing up. I'm getting ready for the baby to come. But I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And we'll talk. I'll see y'all on somebody's live at some point. Until then, y'all be good. Y'all be blessed. Stay encouraged. And more importantly, I want you to learn how to love yourself much better every day. Start right in this moment because you deserve to be loved. Peace.